Hello YouTube friends, Lorien here. Welcome to your signed general reading for the month of July. As usual, it's going to be 4 cards across the top. One card represents one of the week approximately in energy, and I'm actually going to be using the Gilded Tarot deck again. I know it's a favourite of a lot of people's. I got a lot of feedback about that, so I'm going to be using them again. And also I'm going to try something different. The one card at the bottom is now going to be an oracle card, giving the general feeling of the month overall. And this is going to be the Earth Magic Oracle deck for you. This is basically an example, a generalised example of a personal reading with me. If you would like more personal, tailored advice or insight into your own problems, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm more than happy to discuss options for you and what kind of reading that you need. So check out the links below to see if you can get in contact with me and if we can arrange something for you. In the meantime, I do hope you enjoy your reading, and any comments, any stories that you have to share are always welcomed. Hello lovely Capricorns, here's your July reading for 2015. Looking at the cards as they stand at the moment, it seems to be almost a calling for you to come out of your shell a little bit and let go of certain things. You're not on your own. You don't have to do things on your own a lot of the time, and I do feel that some of you may have started to feel isolated in some certain areas, or maybe some certain freedoms have actually been taken from you. Maybe you find yourself in something different now. You're kind of going directly down a certain path, and it's scary, and you're trying to hold on to some certain things that maybe you've had before, but I think that you need to kind of release that now. Now, certainly with the Four of Pentacles in the first week of July, this seems to be, it's kind of like you're a flower unfolding throughout the month, but in the first week it seems like you're really trying hard to keep things together. You're really trying hard to make sure that you can control every single little bit, or that would be your ideal at least. If it's not, then oops. I do feel there is a sense that you are almost battling against something, an uncertainty here coming through, and I don't want to really dwell on this card too long because I feel it's just going to pass. It's probably going to pass even before the second week of July. So let's get on to the Six of Cups, because this is often a card about nostalgia, and maybe what you're actually clinging on to is the fact that things now aren't like they used to be. I think maybe this could be something to do with your childhood. This could be something even to do with children, your current children. But I think it's important not to spend too much time and effort thinking about the good old days. I think that we all have happy memories to reflect on from time to time. But I think that if you focus too much on what once was, you may miss what is now. And I think generally there is a sense that you could overcome certain aspects of this. You could overcome, the feeling of, I wish I was young again, or I wish I could redo these last few years. I think it's less focus on what has been and more focus on what can be manifested and materialised now. Because if you let go of your need for control, a lot of positive things start to happen. And this is actually shown for me in the Six of Cups in the form of kind of reverting back to childlike innocence rather than reverting back to how things used to be. So maybe view things with the kind of abandon that you may see in a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. Everything excites them. You're going to have a reason to be excited in the second week of July, or even for the whole of July. You need to be able to recognise it, and if you're still trying to grab control over certain things and be your own lone wolf, I don't think you're going to manage the amount of freedom of expression and the amount of energy and healing that you will be able to get from certain factors that are coming into your life. You won't be able to appreciate them. And the last two women here, Temperance and the Queen of Pentacles, they are there to show you that you have the best of energies coming in. So if you do find the need to kind of revert back to anything, or to repeat anything, repeat how amazing it was to be a kid and discover something new. You know, being an adult is boring because you hardly ever get to experience something new. But if you have a kind of wonderment about how accurate something is, or, you know, a new scientific discovery, or, you know, catching up with an old friend, because actually the Six of Cups and Temperance, they are to do with reunions. They can be reuniting with previous lovers, previous friends, previous family members that you may not have seen for quite some time. So I think maybe once you release the control, you're then able to kind of revisit things and appreciate the fresh energies that people bring into you from the past. Because energies do change. They're familiar, but they can have an extra edge to them. And Temperance is a card about balance in many ways, and relationships of all kinds. So I think she's there in the third week to say that these do need your attention. I think the relationship with yourself is the one that needs the most attention. This is a card about basically mixing and matching. So exploring the relationship within yourself, I think you may have to try several approaches, different things, before you find what is truly right for you. This could mean, well, you're not going to have several different jobs in July, but it could mean applying for several different things. So it could be you apply for something in media as a, you know, assistant role. You apply for an assistant in the medicine industry. You apply for an assistant in, what else? The joinery. I don't know why that came to me. The joinery industry, or engineering, or, you know, that, or a personal assistant to somebody high up. You know, it doesn't matter what you do or how you interpret it. Just try different things. I think that's what it's trying to say to you. Just see if you can maneuver. And what are they saying there? Okay, so they're drawing my attention, skipping a few cards, to the Vision Quest. And basically, the Vision Quest seems to be about taking the time out. So maybe this is changing your scenery. Maybe taking the time to pray or meditate, or, you know, Vision Quest it can be a life-changing experience. It can be very powerful. I think it has very profound revelations. I think you need to go back to nature. Try and find a place in nature that you can just sit there and contemplate nothing and everything all at once. So try and, even if it's an hour or a few days, you know, spend the time there being quiet. And I think this will also do you very well in getting to know yourself when you're not having to rush around doing other things or having so much control. So, getting back to the Queen of Pentacles, then in the fourth week, because I unfairly went over her because my vision was suddenly given to the Vision Quest. It seems to be somebody who could help you, but I think that the end of July sees you doing something very nice to your house. Maybe you get a new house, maybe you get the urge to... Actually, this is a message that has come up several times, I think in 2 other readings, 2 or 3. It's about making your outer self reflect your inner self. So if your house is currently messy, and it is reflecting you because you feel messy inside, if you fine-tune yourself and you get organised, you won't be able to handle the mess. So I think the Queen is here basically to say, when you get a direction, when you get to know yourself, when you have settled either in a new place or in the place that you are and you've kind of made your peace with it, this is when you'll be able to change everything, and you'll be able to make sure that you present yourself as the person you are, both in clothing and personality, and also in your home and your surroundings. So it's basically that you'll be able to see the reflection of yourself in your environment, and that's a beautiful thing. If you're messy, you'll know about it. You'll know that something's not quite right in there. I mean, I'm naturally messy, and I know that's because I have many creative ideas that are all over the place, and I flitter from stuff to stuff to stuff and that. So I know that's me, and I know that no matter how hard I try to get organised, something else, another room in my house is still going to be messy with piles of books everywhere. So it's the same for you. I think that accept the kind of environment that you're in. Don't be afraid to change it if you need to, because again, you can kind of mould it to fit who you are. But it does seem like you are going to get a better sense of identity with these changes that are happening, and also you're going to get some help from somebody else as well. I think you are going to really get to know yourself on a very personal level, not through isolation, but just through some quiet time. And I would really love to hear anything that you do experience for July. If you'd like me to take a look into any questions or issues that you have, email me so I can arrange and build a package for you. Or if you just want to look at Etsy to see the pre-made ones and the organised ones, just buy something from there and I'll be in touch with you. But in the meantime, I look forward to reading for you in August. And I do wish you the best of luck for July. Take heart and take care.